Hello, welcome back to the channel, Up the Reds TV with me, Andy. So before I start, please like, please share and please subscribe to the channel. Also I'd like to say a big thank you for the guys that are subscribing to the channel, and hopefully we can get some more subscribers. So please tell your mates about this channel. It would mean a lot to me, and I can carry on doing this content. The last two videos have both had over 100 views, so I'm quite happy with that. The first one was the Chelsea post-match, and then the second one was the Diogo Jota song, which also had over 100 views. So thank you very much for those of you who have watched that. And if you are watching these videos and you're enjoying the content, please hit the button if you've not yet subscribed. So I'm trying out a new mic here, so I'm hoping that it's going to be okay. Well, I'll soon find out when I've made the video and download it. So just bear with me. I bought a new coffee machine and I'm just trying it out. I should have probably got one years ago, but yeah, very nice. Cup of Americano. Hits the spot, if I may say so. Okay, today's video, less of my nonsense on here. Liverpool's busy fixture schedule, 7 matches in 21 days. So the Reds are obviously preparing for a demanding run before the next international break, which is not a million miles away. And thank heavens that that's the last break, and the next one comes around March time. So the overview, let's have a look at that. Obviously, it's going to be a congested fixture list. Okay, it's going to test the squad's depth, resilience, and most importantly, the ability to maintain high performances across all levels in the domestic and European competitions. As I said, the demand of the fixture list, playing 7 games in 3 weeks, means that Liverpool are competing on average every 3 days, but some of those are like 4 days or 5 days. I think the last 2 games there might be a 5-day in between, which is good. So as I say, Premier League, Carabao Cup tie, and 2 European fixtures which require careful squad management and also recovery strategies. So let's have a look at the fixtures. So we've got Manchester United this Sunday. Won't touch too much about that game because I'm doing another video, the pre-match, on Friday. So look out for that one, will you guys? It'll be out around 7. So yeah, that's Sunday, and kick-off 4:30. And then we go midweek, first Champions League game of 2 in this little window. Eintracht Frankfurt away, and that's is that Hugo Ekitike going back to his old stomping ground. 8 o'clock kick-off. Third game is on Saturday the 25th. That is against Brentford, and it's an 8 o'clock kick-off. So no idea why the TV are wanting to play that game at 8 o'clock. I'm just thinking about the supporters who are travelling down there by train, and you know what it's like with the transport system that we have in this country. I hope there's no cancelled trains for them to bring them back up north, on the way back to Liverpool. So I'll touch on that when I make that video. And then on the Wednesday the 29th, we've got Crystal Palace at home in the Carabao Cup tie. I've got a ticket for that game, so thank you, Ben, for that. If you're watching this, much appreciated. And that's a 7:45 kickoff. And then following that, 1st of November, That's right, 1st of November. We've got Aston Villa at home, and it's one of the few occasions, unless we get kicked out of all the competitions, that Liverpool will have a Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff. And and that's 1st of November. So, and we've got the final 2 fixtures. This is the big one, or the big 2, should I say. Liverpool versus Real Madrid, the second home fixture in the Champions League this season. That's on Tuesday the 4th, kick-off at 8 o'clock. And then to the final fixture before the crappy international break is Man City away on Sunday the 9th, kick-off at 4:30. So, yeah, heavy schedule for the Reds there, but, we're in it to win it on all competitions, so you can see the mixture of competitions there. So, impact on the squad. With a packed schedule as this, emphasis is important on I think, on Liverpool's squad rotation. I think Arne Slot needs to rotate. Is he going to rest key players to avoid fatigue and injuries? Because there's no rest in between. And will the fringe and young players, will they be given opportunities to impress? There's not that many knocking on the door. Ungamoa, Nione. So, look, Arne Slot and his coaching staff, they've got a crucial role to play, obviously, between now and the last game against City, about managing the intensity of the training and recovery periods in between. Players can be playing games, don't get much rest, and then they have a warm down training session, then they have to kick on again. So hopefully muscle memory is, I've talked about this in the past, haven't I? Muscle memory. I hope the muscle memory is now well and truly into the players. I always say look at how your season's going to pan out after 10 games, and after this one, this session of games, we will have passed the 10-game Premier League mark. So there'll be more feedback done on then. Squad depth. Obviously, the up and coming run will highlight the strength, and the versatility of Liverpool's squad. We've already seen the versatility, haven't we? We've had midfielders playing in the back four, haven't we? And it's sort of like it's not gone well, really, if I'm honest with you. We've had Don playing right back because he's been what Arne Slot thinks has been the right back, for the last few fixtures. But I'm hoping that we're getting back into midfield. We've had Ryan Gravenberg. He's been played at centre half, and I don't really want to see him at centre half. I'd rather see him in his sixth position. So that's what we we really need to look at. If Arne can start to rotate the squad, and if the squad can start to play to the levels of what the team played last year, and I know we've got new faces and they're still bedding in and getting gelled, getting used to the other players, but we've lost the likes of Luis Diaz. It was what it was. He wanted to go and he went, but you can tell that we've missed him, and other players have been playing below par, as I've said in my previous videos. So if we get we've got 4 Premier League games. That's 12 points up for grabs. I'd love all 12 points. Honestly, I really, really would. That will get the momentum going. Success in the games, it does build momentum, heading into the international break. And believe me, these games are thick and fast, and we will surely get to that international break sooner rather than later. The downsides, so many games being played, and we can see from this international break that a couple of the players have been carrying knocks. Konate went went to the French squad with a knock from the Chelsea game. He picked up another knock from whilst he was out with France, and he's obviously come back with an injury. Now Ryan came off in the first half, but it was only precautionary, so hopefully there's nothing too serious with that. But you never know until the players get back under the medical team at the AXA training that we will find out about the severity of injuries and where they're up to. So fingers crossed that both players, are going to be fine for the United game to start off with. Anyway, injuries, less recovery time between matches. So that's really my main point there. We just have to be careful with that. Look, Arne Slot's going to his decisions regarding the team selection is going to come under scrutiny. Now, when I say that, I don't mean that if it's not going well, that we should be looking at getting rid of Arne Slot. That is not what it's about. He's got a 3-year contract. He inherited a good squad last season that couldn't get over the line with Jurgen Klopp because Jurgen was exhausted, but fresh Arne came in, made it tinkered about and kept the same team, and he delivered the title. Few players that have left, the likes of Elliott, who's coming off the bench and doing things that you expect a player coming off the bench to do. He had Luis Diaz. Look, Darwin Núñez is gone. The less said about that, maybe the better. Jarell Kwanzaa's gone. And, there's other few players that have left the club as well. So, but they were only like fringe players, under 21 players. But, he's going to come under scrutiny. He came under scrutiny from the last 3 games. Look, we supporters have opinions about when we watch a game, and sometimes we could go overboard in our opinions. And I touched on this in the Diogo Jota video. If you haven't watched it, it's the video below this one. So if you go onto the channel, Up the Reds TV, you'll find that. And I think the heading was, is it time to ditch the Diogo Jota song? It will be under scrutiny, and rightly so, but it'll probably mainly come from opposition supporters and the opposition journos. It's going all wrong for Liverpool, etc. But listen, we're 1 point off top the Premier League. As I said, we're entitled to voice our disgruntled opinions about performances, and because that's what football is. That's what it's about. It's the greatest game in the world for me, and we all have different opinions. You and I could be watching the same game, and we can have a different opinion about the opposition, our players, our manager, their manager. So, it's great. So, but this is not when I'm talking about Arne Slot team selection, he'll be under scrutiny. That is not what I am saying. There's nothing. He's our gaffer. He's going to stay our gaffer. Nothing's going to happen. The team will eventually gel. we've got a cracking forward line. Just need to iron out a few things, and then we'll be back on it, and hopefully we'll be back on it in these next 7 games. So looking ahead, as I said, 21-day period. It's going to be really pivotal to Liverpool's ambitions this season. If we navigate this run successfully, we could set a tone for the remainder of the campaign and help. It would help the club stay competitive on multiple fronts. If we get all the players firing, the new ones bedded in, and they're gelling with the other new ones, and the rest of the team, it's just going to be great. Look, us fans, we'll be hoping that the team can cope with the demands and emerge positive with positive results. Before they disperse away for their international duties. None of the games are easy, are they? They were easy last season because we went on an unbelievable run, and nobody thought that we'd win the Premier League the way that we have done. So, but yeah, it would just be nice get 12 points out of these 4. Going to be difficult, but we can do it. We can really, really do it, and have every faith in the manager and the system and the players for that matter. But all depends on if the players have all come back without carrying heavy knocks or any injuries that could keep them out. Certainly from the Manchester United game, which I am really looking forward to after the back end of the 3 losses that we incurred, which were incidentally all the way from Anfield. Okay, what are your thoughts? Is the squad good enough? Can it come through this period of games and keep on track to retain the Premier League title? Because at the end of the day, great teams retain titles, and if this newly emerging team could retain the title, and they're a very young team, all the players that we've bought, young, but they are quality players. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gone into the market and got them. So tell me what you think in your comments below, please. Okay. And finally, please like, please share, please subscribe to the channel if you're not already doing so. Let's get you guys on board. And I'll speak to you guys on Friday for the Manchester United preview. Okay, enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy the rest of your night, and I will speak to you then. Up the Reds.